Hello and welcome to the qualifier race for the 11th event of the Utica Home Track Series here in Martinsville. We're approaching the halfway point and we are also approaching the All-Star Challenge. Here are the drivers that need to qualify for today's event. 21 drivers are here today. They're battling for 8 positions, and this is the last race before the All-Star race, so all these drivers want to get in, especially so they can get that much-needed win, so they don't have to race their way in through the open. Now on pole is Michael Creed, car number 01. Now, this car has not made too many attempts. It made its debut at Daytona. It attempted last week at Sonoma with Prudence Littlejohn, but now Michael Creed leading here at Martinsville, but not for long, as Joey Beatty, or how do you pronounce it, sorry, takes the lead in car number 12. We'll get to them in a second as that newly painted machine enters the lead. But now Michael Creed just needs to stand to the front, and Michael Creed will be able to make his first career start. The spot they're all battling for is currently held by Willie Decker, car number 1X. He always seems to be in this position, and a lot of times he's usually the loser on this. Now Willie Decker's at a track that he really likes to be at. He loves the short tracks, that's where his specialty is, and he's hoping to make the race today. He wants to get that funding from JFI so he can buy himself a 2013 car, which he's been unable to do all season long. Justin Benoit leads the points standing for the qualifier series, and he's in the wall. He's going to get turned by Brendan Paris in car number 84, and that car is going to get stuck on track, but we're not getting a caution. I'm pretty surprised. That's not good for him. He might get beaten. Now, I mentioned earlier that drivers here are trying to make this race, especially because it's their last chance to get a victory before the All-Star Challenge. Alex Tanker doesn't necessarily need to worry about that, as Alex Tanker is locked into the All-Star Challenge. He won the Talladega event last year, and he's the only winner in the qualifier series. But he wants to make this race for another reason, so he can get the points and lock himself in for race 12 at Indianapolis. Alex DiMarco is one of those drivers that's very close to locking themselves in. Now, Austin Ogo is the driver in 35th place. Ogo is not running any more events. Brian Brote is the car just outside of the top 35. He isn't running this week, so that means Alex DiMarco and Andrew Robinson, those two cars right near each other, both trying to make this race to get that spot. Now, I mentioned Joey Beatty. Now, this is the first time you've seen this name, but not the first time you've seen the driver. He entered Sonoma as Joey Green. Phoenix Indiana Motorsports was pretty rough on our scoring guys because they made so many team changes in several days, but they finally have their lineup now. It's the 11 of Thomas Beatty, who is Thomas Green, Joey Beatty, who's in the 12, and they also have Jack Darby in car number 1. We'll get to him in a bit. Inman J, car number 06, currently sits near the back of the pack. Justin Benoit's the only car behind him. Now, Inman J was hoping to make this event and beat Josh LeMayo, but at the current moment it doesn't look it. He's got a very poor draw for qualifying. He's going to have a difficult time making it past Jerry Guerra, car number 78. Matt Duell, car number 88, is in that top group, and he's right ahead of the 1X of Willie Decker. And if you can see there, look, there's Joshua Michaels who's fallen a bit back. Looks like he's been passed. We'll get to that in a second, but first let's talk about Matt Duell. Now, Matt Duell started his own team. He left RGE Motorsports to pursue his own team venture, and it's done all right making the Daytona race, but he was unable to finish it due to a wreck. He's hoping to make it today and have much better results than the number 88 Dodge. Dion Scott's going to pass the number 13, and no, this is not the Maria Camiso number 26, which is painted similarly. This is a different race car, and it's kind of funny that we have two drivers that run green Mountain Dew machines that both are Boston Red Sox fans based on the quarter panel of this car, and that have run numbers 25 and 26. If Dion Scott keeps his position away from Michaels, it will be his first start. Thomas Beatty was Thomas Green earlier in the year. He's driving the number 11 machine now, the Ford with History Channel and Cartoon Network on it. Now, this is a car I personally enjoy. I really like this car. But this car is running a couple spots out, running right behind Vladimir Petrov, car number 09. The 09 is the teammate car of Michael Creed. They're trying to work their way around to make it into the show. Joseph Bryant is trying to rebound from a penalty he got last week at Sonoma for aggressive driving. So Joseph Bryant, he's been really struggling with these penalties this year and struggling with the actual races themselves. He's had a hard time finishing them. But Bryant currently in third place on track at the moment. This is currently a spot in for the race. Alex DiMarco having a difficult time making it by the number 80 Aquafina Chevy. Seth Cole is also very close to being in the qualifier series himself. Justin Benoit's off pit road in that number 22 machine, but it looks highly doubtful that he will be able to make the show today unless the rest of the cars just explode. But car number 22, the points there, he might actually lose it today, as Matt Duell, his closest competition, is running up in the top 8 positions. Justin Benoit's been gradually losing his points lead, and if you don't know, you want that points lead so you're locked in for Bristol next year. Jack Darby driving the number 1 machine. Now this car is going to be split between 3 drivers. I don't recall the other 2 offhand. We had those written down, but they gave us 3 driver lineup changes in a day. So it was very difficult to remember the names so far, but Jack Darby's going to be running their speedways. So Darby is going to have to try and do well here today. He's also going to be at Indianapolis, but once we go to Silverstone, he gets turned over to a new driver. Esteves Cortez, car number 86, been having a real trouble making these races lately. Bob Cortez has been finding nothing but success, but Esteves Cortez has been kind of left in the dust. Now, Cortez does have achievements in the Utica Track Series. He was the pole sitter for Monza last year. He's also a 2-time qualifier series winner this year, but he's not won the qualifier race in a while and just really hasn't been making these races. So Cortez trying his best to make it today. Now, Jerry Guerra running near the back of the pack here. This is the last week for the DuPont colors. He switches over to the 7-Up machine starting at the All-Star Challenge. But Guerra, he's had a decent run, not as good as as his brother Nicholas, but Jerry Guerra trying his best here today. It doesn't look like it's going to pan out for him as he's pretty far back in the pack, but he can always try at Indianapolis in 2 weeks. Dylan Young, car number 50. He's one of those drivers that you really like seeing on track. He's very good. It's just that he had a later start and he's been having a little bit of an issue with these qualifier events, so he's been having a difficult time making the event. So Dylan Young running a couple spots out. It's been really hard to pass here today, as it's been apparent based on the current flow of racing. I don't think he's going to have a shot at it. I think the only driver that really had the shot of dislodging Dion Scott is the driver behind Dion Scott, Joshua Michaels, car number 13. Now Michaels has really struggled this year compared to last year. He is running for Rookie of the Year because he did not run enough races last season. But he's hoping to get this 13 car in the race. He made it last week in the number 13X, but he did not get an especially good run. We're coming to the line on the final lap. Joey Beatty is going to win his first Utica Home Track Series qualifier event. This is his second attempt, and it looks like Joshua Michaels is unfortunately unable to get by the number 25 Dion Scott. Good effort by Joshua Michaels. I just want to congratulate Beatty for making only his second start. His first start ended with a wreck. These are the drivers that are qualified for today's event. Beatty, Creed, Bryant, DiMarco, Robinson, Duell, Decker, and Scott. 3 of those drivers making their first start. Now let's take a look at the drivers that sadly were unable to qualify. Joshua Michaels, Vladimir Petrov, Thomas Beatty, Esteves Cortez, Dylan Young, Nick Capps, Alex Tanker, Brian Benoit, Jack Darby, Brendan Patterson, Jerry Guerra, Inman J, and Justin Benoit. Now let's take a look at the top 10 in your qualifier series point. And like I predicted, Justin Benoit not on top anymore. Matt Duell has the lead, 2 points back as Andrew Robinson. And there's Justin Benoit quite a bit back. Then there's Cortez, DiMarco, Petrov, Young, Decker, Guerra, and Tanker. Well, I hope you join us for the full Martinsville event, which is going to be tomorrow. It should be a pretty great event. Our first time at the track in this series. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you there.